Hello everyone. In this part we are going to learn about transportation in human beings. So transportation is nothing but moving from one place to another place. But here the movement of food and oxygen or waste materials from one part of the body to another part of the body. So human beings need regular supply of food and oxygen. So we require food and we require oxygen for our survival. And here the blood is responsible for transporting food, oxygen and waste materials in the human body. Why blood is responsible? Because blood is a fluid medium. It consists of plasma in which the cells are suspended. So blood carries the food, oxygen or the waste materials from every cell in the body. And RBCs carry the oxygen. RBCs are nothing but red blood cells. We are having the word circulatory system. Here the circulatory system refers to a system which includes blood, heart and blood vessels. Why we are going to call it a circulatory system? Because as the transportation takes place in a circular manner, that's the reason why we are going to call this system as the circulatory system, and this system includes blood, heart and blood vessels. So coming to this blood is having plasma and blood cells. And the blood cells are nothing but RBCs, WBCs. Here RBCs are nothing but red blood corpuscles and WBCs are nothing but white blood corpuscles. And blood cells also contain platelets. This is the composition of the blood. As I said earlier, plasma is the fluid medium present in the blood. So here we are having heart. Heart plays a major role in transportation, we can say. So heart is a muscular organ which is as big as your fist. Fist, if you close all your fingers and observe the size, that is the size of your heart. It is not having any bones. Oxygen and carbon dioxide get transported by the heart, and it is having different chambers to prevent oxygen rich blood from mixing with the blood containing carbon dioxide. That means heart is having chambers so that the blood which is oxygenated and which is deoxygenated, both are not going to mix it. So carbon dioxide rich blood has to reach the lungs from carbon dioxide to be removed, and oxygenated blood from the lungs has to be brought back to the heart and then pumped to the rest of the body. So what's the work of heart? To pump the blood. We are having oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is nothing but the blood which contains oxygen more. Deoxygenated blood is nothing but the blood which does not contain oxygen. Oxygenated blood containing more oxygen, deoxygenated blood containing no oxygen. So it contains carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide rich blood has to reach the lungs. It has to reach the lungs so that the carbon dioxide which is present in the blood, that should be removed, and so that if carbon dioxide is removed, oxygen is added to it, and then the lungs are going to transport the oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood from the lungs has to be brought back to the heart and then pumped into the other parts of the body. So let us see how it's going to work out. The rich oxygen blood from the lungs comes to thin wall upper chamber of the heart on the left atrium. That means, so here we are having the heart. So here from the to the left atrium the blood is going to enter. From where? From pulmonary veins. From pulmonary veins the blood is going to enter into the left atrium. So heart is having 4 chambers. One is left atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle and right atrium. So from left side the oxygenated blood is going to enter. From where? From pulmonary veins the blood is going to enter to the left atrium, and from left atrium you are having 2 walls. We are going to call this wall as the bicuspid wall. We are going to call this as the bicuspid wall. So from left atrium the blood is going to enter into the left ventricle. So when the left atrium is collecting the blood, it relaxes and the blood is going to enter into the left atrium. After that, when blood is filled by the left atrium, this left ventricle is going to relax, and from left atrium the blood enters into the left ventricle. So from left atrium to the left ventricle the blood is going to enter, and then the blood is pumped to the body. When this left ventricle contracts, in turn from the aorta the blood is transferred to the rest of the body. So the blood is passed through every part of the body or every cell in the body, and then oxygen is taken by all the cells, and now the deoxygenated blood. Now the blood has to be from here. Again the blood is now deoxygenated. So oxygen is removed from the blood. It contains what? It contains carbon dioxide. It contains carbon dioxide. So the deoxygenated blood comes from the body to the upper chamber of the right atrium. So that is nothing but vena cava. From vena cava the blood which is deoxygenated, that is going to enter into the right atrium of the heart through vena cava. Here how the blood enters? From pulmonary veins the blood is going to enter into the left atrium, and from vena cava the blood is going to enter into the right atrium. So the blood entered here. Here you can see the arrow marks. So the direction of it shows, the arrow mark shows the direction of the blood flow. So from the right atrium, when this right atrium contracts, the right ventricle expands and transfer of the blood has to takes place to the right ventricle. So from right atrium to the right ventricle. Okay. So these ventricles are having thick muscular walls. So these are thin muscular walls. The atria are the thin muscular walls, and the ventricles are having a thick muscular wall, so that there is no backflow of blood from the ventricle. So from the atrium, when the blood enters to the ventricle, the blood does not go back again to the atria, because these ventricles are having thick walled muscles. Let me explain you the flow of blood once again. So lungs are going to remove the carbon dioxide. So here the oxygenated blood, the pure blood, we can say the oxygenated blood is from the lungs through the pulmonary vein. From the pulmonary vein it enters into the left atrium. So assume that this is the heart and these are the lungs, these are the body organs. So from the lungs the oxygenated blood is going to enter to the left atrium through pulmonary vein, and from the left atrium it enters into the left ventricle, and from left ventricle this is going to through main artery, that is nothing but aorta. From aorta the blood is flown through the or transported to the body organs, and from the body organs the deoxygenated blood is directly it is passed through the right atrium, and from right atrium it enters to the right ventricle, and from right ventricle then it is passed to the lungs. This is nothing from pulmonary artery, that is nothing but from vena cava. The deoxygenated blood is going to enter to the right atrium. So there is a separation between the right side part and the left side of the heart, and this is called as septum. If you come to the figure, here you can see the septum between these two atrium and the ventricles. We are going to call it as septum, and it is useful as it avoids the mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So other animals, amphibians and reptiles, these animals are having 3-chambered heart and bear some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood streams, because to maintain their body temperature they are having 3-chambered. We are having 4 chambers. Fishes have 2 chambers, and the blood is directly pumped into the gills and get oxygenated there and then passes directly to the rest of the body. So fishes are having 2 chambers. So the blood is oxygenated directly when they enter into the gills, and from the gills the blood is passed to the rest of the body. So here